Hey there, friends and neighbors. How we doing? Welcome to another edition of the Chronicles. Jedi Phoenix with you here. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I really hope you've got warmer weather than we've got here. It's about 11 degrees as I'm recording this on a Friday night. And I think the wind chill is probably a few degrees below that. So I'm so ready for summer. But anyway. So recently I did a couple of unboxing videos, one from Darkwolf Sabers, the other from Crimson Dawn. And as I promised, I was going to put the Sabers through their paces and do a full review for you. So here's the first of those. And I'm starting off with, from Darkwolf Sabers, this is of course the Luke, as they call it. It's Luke Skywalker is from Return of the Jedi, of course. And I gotta tell you, this is really a beauty. This it's pretty much got everything. It's got the switch box, it's got that little clamp. This little clamp here, by the way, I didn't realize it at the time I was doing the unboxing. This clamp is just for decorative purposes. It's not anything functional. But if this is not an exact replica, I really can't tell. I'm sure maybe some of you sharper-eyed viewers might be able to point out an inconsistency or two. But so one thing I want to show off about the switch box. This, of course, has the power button underneath it. And when I was first really examining this, I noticed that if you end up sliding the plate down, it does come out easy. Okay? But one thing I noticed is that the button, the on-off switch, it does come out. Okay? See if the camera picks that up. Okay. So in a panic, I emailed Darkwolf Sabers. This was the day after I did the unboxing that I found this out. And I honestly thought it was busted. And later that day, I got to give them credit, later that day they got back to me and they said, nope, that's normal. It's called a plunger button. And what happens is, it sits loose in there. I'm trying to get the camera to pick that up. But what it does is the tension holds the plate in place. In the grooves there. Okay? And what that does is, see, I can take this and I can shake it like one of those shaker weights. And hopefully doesn't even budge. But the minute you slide it down past that button, that's when the plate comes out. So that's just, if you do pick up one of these, it is something to be aware of. The only time that you're really in danger of having that plate slide down is if your thumb catches it as you're holding it. And I personally, I really don't have a problem hanging on to this with that switch box because, well, I've showed you the Hasbro special that I have. It's the old Hasbro light-up extendable replica of this thing. So I'm used to the switch box being there. If you just kind of put your thumb right there, you can kind of hold that. But there's a couple of things I want to point out about this saber. As sweet of a replica as it is, and as beautiful as it is on a shelf, I would not use this as a dueling saber. Alright? For two reasons. One is the obvious, the thin neck. Okay? If you're really getting the heat of the moment and you're really swinging and, chopping with this thing, you're going to run the risk, at least I think, of damaging this or bending this or whatever have you. So that's one thing to be aware of. The other thing to point out, the blade, I got the blade plug in there now. I'll put the blade in here in a minute to show you, but it does not sit that far in the emitter. Maybe about a ½ inch tops. So that, to me, that makes me a little nervous when it comes to really going at it with this saber. If it was another maybe 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches in there, I wouldn't have much of a bigger problem with it. But only a ½ inch, I'm very wary of that. However, as a cosplay piece, to clip onto your belt, as a decorative piece for your shelf, or even if you just want to, just wave it around, and not duel with it, I really recommend this. For a movie replica, this is really nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to get the blade in here. That way you don't have to deal with that, me fumbling with the retention screws. And then I'll show you what this looks like when it's lit up. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back. So just to show you what I was talking about as far as how it sits in, this is the blade plug that Darkwolf sent me with it. And I don't know if you can see, if I cover up my face, maybe it'll focus on the plug. If you can see the grooves in the plug, that's how far it goes in the emitter. It is not that far at all. Okay? So, that, like I said, I'm a little leery about swinging the blade if it's not anchored in that far. But, got it in there pretty good now. So I will power this up. I'm not going to go through all the colors and the sound fonts. That's going to be for a different video. The other drawback of having the switch covered up by the plate, unlike some of the other sabers from Darkwolf, you can see the glowing ring, and you can count the number of beats, like 4 blinks changes the font, 3 blinks it gives you either music or dialogue. But with the plate in place, you can't really see any blinking lights. So if you're not careful, you can kind of mess your timing up. But try to power this on. Hang on a minute.
Power on.
Okay. So I already have this set up. If it's Luke Saber, we're going to go with green, right? And I will say, very responsive on the swing. If I had more room in here, I'd really be able to groove with this. But, as it is, I don't want to bang into my furniture. But that'll be a different video. So, and that blade is coming out real bright on the camera. I love that. So, let me turn the lights on so you can really see what this looks like. Hang on a minute. That is a glow stick. Alright, let me get the lights back on. Hold on. Alright. So, pretty crisp sound. It's not as loud as like say one of the Ultra Sabers, that obsidian soundboard can get loud. Although to be fair, I've got this on softer sound. That's one thing they recommend. If you're indoors like this, to go with a softer sound, only because a loud sound is a little distorted. So they recommend that if you're like in a loud area, like say Comic-Con, for example. If you're into that, then you definitely want a loud sound over there. But as it is now, this is pretty crisp. The one thing I have noticed when it comes to like Darkwolf and even Crimson Dawn, and I think it might be a matter of the soundboard that they use, it's not very responsive with the flash on clash. Like if you gotta really smack it in order to get that flash effect. And like I said, that makes me a little nervous with the thin neck and the blade not going that far down. But there we go. So that is the Luke, as they call it, or as I'll just call it, Luke Saber. If you're looking for a movie piece for your collection, not so much of a dueling saber, like I said, very recommended. And even just for swinging it around, as long as you don't really give it any really hard swings, if you're just kind of twirling it around, you know, keeping your hands busy, whatever, I really recommend this. Okay. This is a beauty. I'll just show it off one more time before I end the video. There we go. Now you get the full effect there. This is another cool thing too. The little D-ring clip here, or whatever you want to call it, does not flop around. You know, so neither does this. You know, and it doesn't get in the way. None of this gets in the way of your hands. You just gotta be careful how you're holding it. That's all. So that's gonna do it for this video. There will be others on the way. I hope to entertain you with those as well. And again, stay warm. And until I see you in the next video, be good, be well, be safe, and be happy.